Alright, so basically, this week decided to be the late year Christmas E3, essentially. Because, man, there's a lot of shit that came out this week. Honestly, we talked about GTA not too long ago, so if you haven't watched that video, please recommend it that you do, because I do have some concerns about GTA 6 that very much could happen, but just be on the ready for. And then 2, the Game Awards was literally last night, as well as Genshin Impact's live stream of 4.3 trailer and stuff came out today, and I already seen that. So when it comes down to things, there's a lot to talk about. It's gonna be a lot of gaming stuff, so I'm not gonna cover every single piece of game information, stuff like that has been dropped via the Game Awards and stuff like that, but I'll talk about the ones that I find the most interesting. All right. And before we do, if you are someone that likes the channel, then please come through and subscribe and give this a like as well as on the description we have Kofi, which you can donate directly if you want to, or Throne Gifts if you just want to give me something for Christmas. If you want to also just straight up like buy some merch as well, we have a $5 sale that's happening. So, if you just want to see what we actually have, then you can do all that. But anyway, so the Game Awards said, alright, buckle in, we're about to slap you with a chicken, because that's essentially what they did. So what ends up happening is that, first of all, Sega ended up being like, yeah, so we're not just having Sonic games, we're not just Yakuza games, and we're not just partners or, people that work with Atlas, right? We're not just people that help the Persona series, we're Sega. We have shit. So let's introduce you to the shit that we actually have. Boom! Jet Set Radio coming back for some reason, and I absolutely love it. Then you have Golden Axe coming back in some shape and form, which is great. Crazy Taxi, which is also coming back. So start driving recklessly, not in real life though. Then you also have like the Shinobi game as well, that I don't know too much about, but it's crazy how much they're really being like, yeah, we're gonna just basically show you why we're Sega and what IPs that we had that we just don't use, but we're gonna bring it back to, right? The most I'm excited for is Jet Set Radio, personally. I've never played Jet Set, but I always like the aesthetic of it. And then Crazy Taxi, I did play Crazy Taxi, obviously, but when it comes down to things, not too much of it, it's not really that in deep of a game, but still nonetheless, it's something to look forward to. And then the reveal right after that is Dragon Ball, and they showed off Tenkaichi 4, or it's going to be called Sparking Zero, essentially. And when it comes down to things, this game looks clean as hell. People deflecting Kamehamehas like it ain't nothing. You got that beam struggles coming back. Most likely the clashes where you dash at each other, it's just punch each other rapidly until somebody wins. That's probably going to come back. The animation and art was already going to be peak just from the jump. Like, if you didn't think it was going to be peak, then, you gotta be tripping, honestly. The fact that we can blow up the world again, which is amazing. It's been too long since I blew the hell up out of Namek, so it's time for that time to come again, honestly. So, it's just a lot of stuff to look forward to, honestly. It's gonna be hella fun. It's gonna be absolutely hella fun. And now, because we're in this new era of Dragon Ball, there's new characters that we gotta introduce into this shit now. So obviously, we've seen Broly, we've seen Jiren, we've seen some other people that was like, part of the, like the Tournament Power plus the Universe 6 thing when Universe 7 had to fight at one point in time. So that's going to be interesting. Hercules there. And if Hercules there, the roster is going to be fat. The roster is going to be stacked to the brim, honestly. Definitely there's going to be some DLC, but when it comes down to just base roster, it should be really big. It should be really damn big. If it's not big, I'd be actually mad. And I was kind of thinking this too. I'm like, they're probably going to make this game like a Xenoverse situation where it just don't die like that. And it feels like that's what they're going to potentially do. Probably going to just add a shit ton of characters, which they should, and then just make them all pop off into one game and just do the absolute crazy stuff that they want to do with it. And obviously, when it comes down to things, the person that's also developing this game is Spike Chunsoft. Did we think any different? No. These are the same people that brought us the old Tenkaichi back in the day in Budokai and whatever. When it came down to, the older games, Spike Chunsoft was there. It was always there. And I remember I was looking up something on Twitter where it was like, bruh, the night and day difference of Spike Chunsoft. Jump Force, Tenkaichi. And then they're like, yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, that is a bit of a 9-day, but it shows you which bag they really have their creative fit in, though, right? They show you which bag is going to actually work versus the one that did. So obviously, expect some good things when it comes to, Sparking Zero. This is going to be a hella good game, especially if you're someone that played the old ass games like I did with all the games. Then yeah, this is going to be hella fun for us, 100%. Again, if we don't get to rotate our controller sticks, I don't give a shit if it breaks our sticks. I want to rotate shit, so that better be a thing. And this time, because we're in again a new era of gaming, online matches, it's most likely going to happen. So this is going to be a little bit more crazier than normal, honestly. I know people have also been like, well, there's Raging Blast. Personally, I never played Raging Blast, and I kind of wanted to, but I never got the chance to. But at the very same time, now I can experience what Raging Blast has, but also the older game of what I know too. So it's going to be nice for me personally. So that's going to be something good just to look forward to. Finally, something to make me happy, honestly. Before I talk about Final Fantasy VII, because I'm going to lead this to the absolute back end of the video, I'm actually going to talk about Genshin first, but also some things about the Game Awards a little bit, just kind of what I thought about it overall. The Game Awards was pretty okay. I'm shocked that Spider-Man didn't win a damn award. I'm absolutely shocked that they didn't win a single award. Granted, if how, things are with the progressivism and stuff like that, it's, people don't want them to win in that shape and form, but I'm shocked they didn't win anything, honestly. Final Fantasy 16 won one award, and they won more than, Spider-Man, which is crazy to me. So, that's pretty insane if I'm going to be honest with you. So, yeah, they didn't win shit. You know who also didn't win shit? Pizza Tower. And, oh boy, was people angry. I love how people were like, yes, Genshin didn't win anything. Suck our dicks, you bitch boys, and all that type of shit. And then we just cooling. You know why? Because Hoyoverse said, oh, since we was nominated, we're going to give you 800 Primo Gems just because. Again, by the way. This is the second time they're doing this in a very short amount of time. Then they're going to give Honkai people something. So that's also like another thing. So we eating. And then the live stream happened today where we got 300 with the redemption codes. That's normal. So we're eating, bro. No one in the Genshin community should be mad as shit at all. They shouldn't be mad whatsoever because we're getting wish stuff. So like, are we mad in this situation? No. Sure, do we want to win awards? Hell yeah. But at the end of the day, we eating, bro. We be fine. At least we ain't like Pizza Tower at the moment, who is literally just review bombing the shit out of Cocoon, which is some bonkers shit. Genshin did it too, but holy shit. That's like, they just copying the shit out of what happened last time, honestly. That's kind of wild. Pizza Tower people are kind of toxic, low-key, anyway. I'm just playing, but when it comes out there, nah, Genshin is fine, bro. We are fine. We are eating. We have 4.3 coming soon. We're gonna see Navia. We're gonna see Chevreuse. We're gonna see Chevreuse. Her fine ass. With a gun. And I want her. Yes. When it comes down to things, we'll be fine, bro. We don't need, to win any awards because we got the nomination, so we'll be fine, bro. Genshin this eating, we'll be fine. Also, Jeff was really rushing the shit out of people off stage, bro. To the point, it's low-key kind of rude. Like, I get it. You didn't want people to be like, oh yeah, well, we don't want people to be going long as hell like Kratos did, And also, God of War is getting like DLC, which is also dope to see. But it's like, yo, we don't want people to run in through this shit like Kratos, honestly, going 8 minutes. So yeah, we're gonna basically gonna cut down the time. I can see about 3 minutes. It seems like every 2 minutes that you cut off people, or a minute and 30. And I can see maybe 3 minutes each person. That's fine. That should be enough time for you to say your thanks and all that type of stuff. I get it, and it's an emotional moment, but 3 minutes should be still enough for you to make your way out. This man will boon people out the damn door. I'm like, holy shit, dude. Right? What the hell? And that was like a weird ass thing, right? And it kind of just felt a little bit rude, honestly. I'm not necessarily gonna hold you. Understandable, but still nonetheless. Hot damn, bro. That's hella unnecessary. And I think there was like a teleprompter that tells you to wrap this shit up, honestly. So that was also insanely like, gosh damn, dude. Are you going somewhere after this? I don't think you are. There's probably gonna be an after party after the award show that you're probably gonna stick around to, Jeff. You don't need to be so damn mean. I'm just gonna be honest with you. And finally, when it comes down to things, the last game we gotta talk about is FF7 Rebirth, which this is possibly, for me personally, gonna be the last trailer I watch because I don't want to see anything else about what happens. Because it feels like they're already telling you enough information about what's going down and what's gonna happen. Just this one trailer tells you everything you need to know. Hell, the orchestra thing tells you everything you need to know. The song included. Because now it's like we're in a situation where we're just learning shit now, but we still have questions. And the main big thing that is still gonna bother me, and still is the thing that's possibly on everybody's mind, is what in the hell is happening to Aerith. This is obviously going to be an Aerith chapter. They are focused heavy on her. It's like everything is around her, which makes sense because of what's going to happen at the very end of the game, which we will talk about, honestly. So if you're not necessarily familiar with OG7, then you might want to, skip ahead or something, or leave or whatever. And essentially, that just gotta be how it is. But in OG7, Aerith dies to Sephiroth, obviously, the most biggest historical gaming moment of all time. Is she gonna live this time? Because honestly, the way the song sets it up, sounds like she's gonna meet Zack during that Temple of the Ancient scene. Or like, maybe there's something in there that's gonna be like, well, Zack is gonna come to save the day. Or Aerith is not gonna die necessarily. Right? And I've been thinking this over since last night. And the way I see it, if Aerith is going to live, how it's going to be done, then it should be, because there's two Aerith at two timelines, and they already shown that, there's a couple of things that are going crazy, like Barry and Tifa and Zack's timeline is dead, and Cloud is comatose, and then so maybe Aerith is too. And the thing is, possibly, maybe one Aerith dies, but the other one lives. And maybe that's like a thing. But if they do that, I really hope that they kill the Aerith from Zack's timeline. And then keep the one in our timeline alive. Right? And the reason why I say that is because, well, if you kill this one, great. In the original timeline, then what's the big deal? We have another Aerith in that timeline. Yes, Sephiroth knows about it because Marlene ended up warning Zack that, yo, when she wakes up, a scary man's gonna kill her, which now we know what the hell Marlene's seen, honestly. Now we know what the hell that she's seen when she touched Aerith in Remake, honestly. So that's the whole thing. But when it comes down to things, the idea of having Zack's Aerith live and the original one dies, I feel kind of, I don't know if that should be the case. Because it just feels like, oh, we just have a backup Aerith. That's what it feels like. If you save her at a pivotal moment in the journey, and then the other Aerith dies, that would be a lot more interesting, right? That would be a lot more interesting. Still, Aerith is saved, but, now we're really shaking this up from how it used to be. And I hope, honestly, and this is probably not going to be what a lot of FF people want, but this is what I want. I want Aerith to live. Right? Not because, oh, that's my girl, I want her to live. No, it's not even that. It's more so that if she dies in both timelines, all FF7 is just a remaster with bonus Zack DLC. That's what it feels like to me. Because I haven't had a genuine, real deal care in the world to really care for a lot of the stuff that's happening so far. Because I'm like, okay, it's called a remake, so not everything is going to be the same as it once was. And yes, you can say that, but Zack is a big enough change. Not really to me. Not really, because you just have an extra guy here, and then a few other guys that still is alive for some reason, just because. Just to call it something different. If Aerith lives, then that's a big difference. That's a huge difference, in fact, right? That's a huge one. So if Aerith gets to live in one of the timelines, then that's a big difference. Now we don't know what the hell is going to happen at that point, and that's what I hope happens. That we don't know what the hell is going to happen, because one of them is alive and things will go crazy. That's what I sincerely hope happens. If both of them dies, it's going to go right back on track as to what FF7 originally was, and why would you want to remake the same game twice? At that point, it is a remaster and you will not change my mind. I don't care what it is. And also, when it comes on things, if Aerith does live, that will give Part 3 something to do. I know Part 3 is about, you know, finding and fighting the weapons, and I understand that it's also about Cloud, you know, understanding what's really going on and all that type of stuff. But there's some big moments in Part 3, but there isn't like a shit ton of them, right? Like, yeah, if I remember correctly, like, all you get is, like, you go around to these different places to figure out what's going on. You take Cloud to the damn thing, so he, you know, try to recover, whatever. Then you go fight the weapons at some point. You also gotta, you know, break Tifa and Barry out of, you know, Shinra's holding cell. Then the High Wind comes through. Then you also have to go fight, you know, Midgard with Shinra and them, stop them for nonsense, and Hojo. Then you gotta go to the Northern Crater to basically fight Sephiroth, and that's essentially it. But there's so much more you can add to Part 3. I feel like there is things that you can add to Part 3 that can make it better, and not just so direct path this, direct path that, because it just feels like that. I know Wu-Tai is like also a thing that's going to happen in Part 3 too, but, you know, I just feel like Part 3 can have a bunch of other stuff that would be way more important than, you know, just what Part 3 originally was. So, yeah, why not have Aerith alive? And why not change something up a little bit differently this time? Tell it a bit differently this time. And then, you know, this time, make it something special with Part 3. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to go about this. And especially if Aerith does live in some shape and form, how would they go about the story at that point? Because, you know, it is what it is. So, I have no idea. Like, genuinely, I have no idea. There is a way to write it, but I have no idea how they would do that, honestly. And I was also thinking, too, because, like, why I specifically want the original timeline to live. Because, really, in the end of the game, Holy does absolutely effing nothing. It does nothing. And then the live stream comes through and then does all the heavy lifting, honestly. Holy itself does nothing to the damn meteor, stopping it from, you know, destroying the world. But the live stream itself does something. So, would it even matter if she died or not? I don't know. So, when it comes down to things, that's at least where my mind and perspective is coming from. When it comes down to, you know, how this whole situation with Aerith goes. Again, I would personally have her live and change that much, and if you still go into the same path, right? And even if this Aerith dies and the other one lives, hey, Aerith is still alive, and it still means something, that the game is still different. It's still going to change, even if it's a different Aerith dying, or at least if it's the same one dying and the other one is alive. So it will be something different, and that will be fine to me. So having Aerith alive in just any situation will be a positive, and it could piss some people off, but I don't care, because at least the game is different this time, like you wanted it to be, right? You can't necessarily call it remake if you're not remaking anything. So that's just how it feels to me. But that's essentially all I really wanted to say when it comes down to things. As you can tell, FF7 is possibly the one thing I'm looking forward to the most next year. P3, Persona 3, I'm looking forward to it, but I'll wait till it goes on sale. And then, you know, FF7 is like a day one. Dragon Ball is probably going to be a day one too. Hopefully it'll be $59, but, you know, it will probably be a day one as well. And, yeah, definitely, I'm just looking forward to it. I'm not going to necessarily hold you. There's just a lot of stuff to be like, okay, I'm looking forward to it now, right? So that's how that's going to be. And, yeah, so that's essentially all I really have for this one. So hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe. Hit the bell notification on your way out. Also follow me on the socials. And if you'd like to donate to the channel, Kofi is available as well. And until then, this is Boy J, signing off. Have a blessed day.